Alrighty, so what we have here is two pieces of South American redwood with some sort of yellow wood in the middle. Not sure if it's a natural yellow wood or it's dyed yellow, but it's yellow regardless. So we're going to get started marking our X's here. Generally do this in most pieces that are squarish or rectangular on the ends, just so it lets me use as much material as possible so I can turn the blank and not have it a little wonky or nothing just like that. And a lot of people use straight edges, which is great, but instead of having a straight edge out on my lathe, I just have my lathe tools. It's just handier, so it does a good job. I don't see a difference between using a square or a straight edge or nothing like that compared to a tool. Just personal preference because ease of use. So we're going to get that critter all tightened down so it don't fly off. If you've been wood turning a while, you might have had some pieces fly off at you before, completely off the lathe. Not necessarily fun. You have this chunk of wood that's spinning pretty fast and just whoom, surprise, big old chunk of wood in your face. So while I'm tightening, I don't have my safety gear on, but when I'm turning, I do have it on. I don't want to have my head removed by a piece of wood or splinters stuck in me. I have enough of those as it is. So just getting a general outline. I don't do the fine details all the way through unless I find a little spot that I know I want something there and I don't want to forget while I'm working down another piece of the project. I'll get some little lines to kind of remind me where I want it, or just filling out where I want to be on the piece. It's not necessarily what looks like it'd be great, but what feels great with the tool. If it just kind of flows, I'll do that. And then I kind of go for looks after that. So just putting in some grooves. Thought it'd be more ornamental on there. Something different, not just smooth piece. Getting it all sandaled down with different grits, different shapes of paper there. Wider, thinner, just for the different pieces of the project. Of course, buffing it out with the shavings. I like doing that because it gives it the gloss that I like before the finishing. And just like the last video, I forgot to press the record for the bandsaw. I got the tail in. So we're going to get it sanded down there. I like to be very careful on this part because I don't want to remove too much material from the top. So I do take it nice and easy, even though I do have a very rough paper on my sander here. Now, my method for the bottom of the ornament is I start wider and spinning and get down to the bottom tip. That way it creates a little bit of a point, and at the very end, I just take that point off and it looks nice and rounded. Hopefully sometime I'll have something to prop the phone up on to record that. It took a while to get the hang of it, but after a while it did become easier and smoother to get that rough little point out and for it to be fairly smooth before the final fine sanding. Again, this is a very rough paper because I do want to get the material gone and not be here all day. Here, I'm lining up the bit just to make the little hole to put the eyelet screw in to put the thread through to hang it up on a tree. For some reason, it took forever. I was just having one of those days where I could not find centers, spun it around, it looked off, spun it around, looked off. But we all have those days where it looks right, then you turn it, it don't look right. You got to spin it again, and it was just one of those days. But that's woodworking. It takes time. We're not here to rush projects. We're here to make them look good and to have fun. So, got that little hole in there. Now we're doing the fine sanding. I don't immediately start with the finest sandpaper. I like to work it down. It works better in my opinion instead of just going to the fine sandpaper. Here's the little eyelet screws that I use. I don't use any glue on these. I used to when I would have little eyelet nails, but I like the screws because they hold in there. I don't have to worry about them coming apart if I have them on my tree, if I give them to someone, or if I sell them, I don't have to worry about it coming apart and looking like bad craftsmanship. I want it to stay in there. So if it's a screw, if it comes out, there's something seriously wrong with it. And I just highly doubt it would do that with these. So it's in there nice and tight. Just a pretty little ornament. I like the sheen on the ornament that the shavings give it when I buff it at the end. Eventually I would like to try and get different buffing waxes to give that a try, but it would be harder in some of those grooves, whereas the shavings are able to get in there without a cloth such as some of the waxes. So if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments on questions or ideas you have that you'd like to see spun on lathe, go ahead and comment in the comment section below. Thank you.